Hey guys, and thanks for watching. Today we're going to be doing the would I carry the MNP 2.0 over a Glock, or would I recommend to carry it over a Glock if you just don't like Glocks. Let's get that out of the way. If you don't like Glocks, the reason why I wanted to start this playlist is because whenever I'm trying to talk to somebody about what pistol they should buy, if they're asking me what they should get first, I always tell them Glock 19. The reason I tell them that is because a Glock 19 is pretty much going to fill the void for anything that you may need a pistol for if you don't plan on doing anything with it super crazy or severe. So that's my logic behind it. And that, I don't know, like one out of every three people that I try and talk into getting a Glock 19 tell me, well, I don't really like Glock. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you know? You probably have never shot it. But, it pretty much means they don't like the way it looks. So then they ask me, well, what can I probably get other than that? So I kind of wanted to do this video series to try and show those people out there that just don't really want a Glock, what kind of pistols they can look for, and you know, if other people out there rely on them just as much as the Glock per se. So to start it out, I wanted to do a full-blown review of it, but the reality is I am a low-budget gun channel. So I don't really have a nice camera. I just I'm running with what I got right now, trying to spread the wealth here and try and help somebody out if they need it. So first thing I'm going to go over is just what kind of experience I have with the gun now. I've been carrying it for like 3 or 4 months now, roughly. I don't remember exactly when I got it, but I've been carrying it for about 3 or 4 months now. I put a little over 1,500 rounds to it now, and I've shot a competition with it. So during the competition, I had no malfunctions to speak of at all. Any stagnant range time I've had with it, no malfunctions at all. It's run flawlessly, and I've put a lot of different types of ammo through it at this point. So let's go over some of the ammo I've gone through. I've put 115, 124, and 147 grain of Freedom munitions through it at this point. 124 grain Minuteman munitions, and some Federal 124 grain ball ammunition. All of that was ball. And I was shooting the 147 grain Freedom munitions in the competition. And then for defensive loads, I was shooting some for like a hollow points. I shot some 147 grain Hornady, some 124 grain Freedom stuff. I don't remember what they call the bullet. And then some Remington 124 grain Remington hollow points. And I never had a single malfunction. And I put, I don't know, about 50 of each through it. So I'm pretty confident in it. Shooting hollow points as a modern firearm, we should be okay with it firing hollow points, and I'm like super comfortable with the ball ammunition. It just keeps eating stuff, and it's really accurate with everything. So if you had one of the later models and accuracy was actually a concern for you, this one shoots extremely accurate groups with 147 grain, and everything else too. I got a cat bothering me. But anyways, 17 plus 1, so it's on par with Glock 17, right? So we're gonna keep our comparison to the Glock 17 for this one. So if you're looking for a full-size pistol, if it was between these two, the Glock 17 or this, and you're just kind of leaning towards this because you don't like the way the Glock looks or something, which, come on, people, it looks like a Glock almost, just with like maybe a couple more lines in it, and maybe, you know, I think they look pretty good. I think they look nice. So let's go into what makes this different from the original models, and we'll start from there, I guess. So you have this. I guess they're calling it the aggressive tactical texturing or something like that. All it is a really good stippling, right? So and really good actually. It's honestly really nice, and it allows for a pretty good fixture on the pistol. Um, Something to consider if this is the only pistol you plan on buying. Like it might be a little bit hefty if you got like a significant other or somebody else in the house that may need to use it. Possibly, I mean, something crazy like that happens. Um, or if you want to take somebody to the range with it to shoot with you, the texturing on here might be a little bit too aggressive. I know my wife complains about it, so something to keep in mind. You might want to shoot towards a Glock or an older model M&P or something else if that's a concern. The front serrations right there, they're kind of useless. I'm going to be real with you because it's not like that's what you're reaching for. Like 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to do a press check, I come over the top like that, or if I'm coming under, which I really don't do, I'm going to come over to the top of the slide here. You know what I mean? So they're kind of useless. It's easier to just do that number and then just call it a day. But the actual slide serrations in the rear, they're same as what they had on the original models, and they're definitely good. Definitely get some good traction on there and get a good rack. So that's cool. But these, I think I think they look cool. I mean, looks are not everything by any means, but they certainly don't hurt anything normally. Good sights, I think that's a plus over the Glock. I think we all can agree that most people replace the Glock sights, right? So if you're not one of those people, if you can shoot a Glock with the regular sights, and that's fine, each their own. But I know a lot of people, they end up replacing the sights anyway, so that's a plus for this. Is they're good enough, you're going to be okay with them. I'm probably still going to replace them. I'm going to be real. Some other things to think about on the pistol. So they have, if you're a lefty like me, they have the ambidextrous slide stop, but don't expect to be using it as a slide release. It's a no-go. You're not really going to get it. It's not a practical way to release your slide. It's just not. And I think it's because that little bar there. So if you've already watched the Iraq veteran video on the MNP 2.0, he explains in depth on why that's there, and it's basically so that when you slap the bottom of it, when you're inserting an empty magazine, let's say, when you insert it, it doesn't go slamming down. Kind of a cool thing, because I know that's a problem for a lot of people out there, but honestly, it came at a price. This is no longer a slide release for lefties. It kind of sucks. In fact, it actually really, really upsets me because I was under the impression that it worked like the original models were when I bought this. So basically what ended up happening for me is nowadays, like I have, instead of being able to just drop it like that, what it still does is if I'm taking on my shooting grip and I'm riding over the top of it by accident, yeah, it'll just hold the slide. It'll keep the slide from stopping. So that's kind of a problem for me. I was actually more upset with it than anything because I'm like, well, it's completely useless to me then as a lefty. I don't need it. If anything, it just hinders me. But yeah, keep that in mind. The magazine release is switchable, just like most modern pistols today. So that's not really a bonus over any of the other ones. Not really gonna lie to you guys. It's not holding anything over any of the other pistols on the market right now. It's just not, other than the grip texture, which I think we can all agree the market is seriously missing out on this right now. I mean, this is one of the only pistols on the market that comes in at this price point that's popular, that has texturing like that right out of the box, which I love. I think that's awesome, and it really should continue it. Another cool part about the M&P series, though, that may give it an edge over most pistols, and the reason why I think I will be recommending it to other people who decide they don't want to buy a Glock, is it fits small hands really well. I'm using the smallest back strap on here right now because I am 5'1". I'm a relatively small dude, so I have freakishly small hands. So a good trigger reach and ability to reach the trigger really well is kind of a big deal for me as a shooter. And it comes with 4 back straps to meet the needs of any hand size. They do a really good job of that. The M&P, Smith & Wesson really did a good job of making sure that it's going to fit the hands and needs of just about every shooter on the planet. If it fits my hands, it's solid. They really can't do much better than that. I think I'm telling you, I got tiny hands. You really can't tell on camera, but believe me, take my word on it. Magazines, I love them. You really can't do much better than an M&P magazine. Well, you can't do better, okay, but not much better. The reality is that they're just good old-fashioned steel mags. These have been beaten up, okay. These have hit the floor multiple times, and they've been in the dirt because the competition is literally just a big old patch of dirt on each lane, and they were all over the place in the dirt, and they just kept trucking. So these magazines are great, another great plus for it. The only actual downside of the M&P, and this is a popular statement, and I wish I could be the one to tell somebody if you're looking into buying this pistol and you're just waiting for that one guy to say the trigger isn't bad. It's not bad. I mean, compared to the rest of the market, though, it's pretty poor. I mean, you can't get around it. So what makes the trigger so bad, right? So let's go ahead and go over that, right? So right here at the very beginning, right? Let me make sure I didn't just blast it or something. Right here at the very end, at the very beginning, you come all the way back. That's your wall, kind of. And then you still got all this little creep, and then it breaks. All the way to the rear. All the way. It starts all the way over here. It has to come all the way back, and then it has like, yeah, I don't know if it transfers well on the camera, but even when you hit the wall, it still has all that mush before it finally just breaks. Okay, and it's kind of unpredictable. I mean, if you're trying really, really hard to get like that perfect shot group, and you're just focusing all day long on the trigger, it's gonna get annoying because you're gonna literally get there, and then it'll just, like, that time it broke fine. You know what I mean? And then the reset's pretty good. I mean, it's an average reset, I'd say. See if I can give you guys a better view. I don't think I can. See that though? I mean, it's not bad. It's not. It's way better from the originals. So I mean, there's that. You really got to give it to them there. They did improve it. The reset is tactile and audible, blah blah blah, all that fancy schmancy stuff. But you really can do a lot better on a trigger in a polymer frame striker fire pistol these days. I mean, there's a plethora of them. You can find them anywhere. I mean, every brand has one now. So, you can try a lot of the different triggers and just kind of figure out which one you like most. Because I'm fairly confident in most of the pistols on the market today. Most modern pistols that have come out onto the market today, I'm fairly confident in most of them. And now I'm fairly confident in this one. I mean, it's given me no reason to dislike it. But I still do carry it. I still have been carrying it lately, and I've been carrying it in this Fierce Defender holster. I have a video on it. It's a really nice holster, really good for the price and for how quickly they got it to me. So I'll keep using them for quick holsters that I just need. Couple disadvantages inherently to the pistol that we need to go over real quick, and then I'm probably going to call it quits on the video, because the reality is I would carry this in place of a Glock. I wouldn't carry it over the Glock. We can get those two. Don't get those two mixed up. If I had to pick between these two, it really would be kind of a coin toss. And if I really was being really, really nitpicky, this would be the reason why I picked the Glock, not the trigger. Okay, so during my competition, right, this is an empty magazine, same magazine. During my competition, I had my pistol in the holster, and then I drew it to make ready. And as I was going to make ready and insert the magazine, okay, I missed or something, and it like knocked that out like that. And I didn't, that's just garbage, because the reality is that if that had happened, I don't know, during the match, or even worse, if I ever needed to draw this pistol in an emergency, because it didn't just block my reload, all right, it sent a piece of the pistol out. You know what I mean? I mean, this piece that's holding the back strap in place, it just like shot it out. and fell to the floor and everything. And I was shooting I was just shooting a competition, so it wasn't that big a deal. It's not like it was life ending, and it's not like I couldn't just pick it back up and throw it back in there real fast and call it a day. But that is kind of an issue. I think that's garbage. It doesn't happen with any of the other back straps, just a small one. And I'm like, man, you guys couldn't add a tiny little bit of like, polymer to the back of that to tighten that up a little bit with the small back strap. That's just, that's just poor craftsmanship, I think. So that really annoys me, and the reality is it's just unacceptable, I think. I mean, there's no reason that I should be worrying about a piece of my pistol flying into the air every time that I insert a magazine to get ready to rock. I mean, there's no reason for that. But whatever. All right, we'll rant on that over. There's no reason to get too cranky about it. But other than that, I mean, I definitely would recommend this pistol. I have recommended it before, and I'll continue to recommend it just based on reliability and the ease of use of it. I mean, it definitely holds a place. It holds a place next to Glock. But I still, if I had to pick between the two, hint, it'd be the Glock. So if you're one of those people that just for whatever reason doesn't like the way the Glock looks, or doesn't fit your hand well, which I can understand that, okay? Sure, I get it, all right? That's why I wanted to do this list of videos. But I will say I would carry it in place of a Glock. If I, for whatever reason, couldn't carry a Glock for the day, that'd be a decent option. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you guys have any other questions about the product, please try and ask them. Go ahead and ask them, but also remember, this isn't a true product review per se. This is just a fun little video series I want to do for people who are really, really looking for their first pistol, or if they're looking into the idea of, buying one of these, and they're trying to kind of get a judgment on how it compares to the standard of the polymer striker fired pistols in the industry. Go ahead and ask any questions if you guys have them, and thanks for watching.